Take two.
Take two, no doubt. So Josh, you said you wanted amped up. All right, I'll give you fucking amped up. My fantasy seasons are over in both Hidden Oaks leagues, Josh. That's as amped up as you're gonna get. All right.
Yeah, I guess. Spoiler alert there. No need to do the show.
I have been eliminated. All right, guys. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Hidden Oaks Overdose Football Fix podcast. I'm your humble host, Garlic, along with my humble host, Josh. Say hi to the folks, Josh. Every time you wave... anyways, you can always reach out to us on via email or via the Book of Face. Our email is hiddenoaksoverdose@gmail.com. Our Book of Face is www.facebook.com/hoodpod. That's HOODPOD. Yeah. Last week, Josh, we were doing a pretty cool pod, in my opinion, with our dear friend, Mr. Jalters, a.k.a. Ryan Walters. How do you think that went?
It went great. He gave me beer.
You fucking pounded those beers, dude.
Well, I knew we'd be there for an hour, and I had to drive afterwards, so I figured knock back 3 before we start.
Get as many beers in as you can.
Yeah.
I respect it. So, yeah, that went pretty good. How you doing, Josh?
Swell. How are you, Gar?
You know what, Josh? I'm also doing swell. Today, when I was on the highway coming here, I was going under the Main Street Bridge. All right, you're familiar with the Highway 10 and the Main Street, correct?
Yeah.
All right, so I was going under that bridge. Guess what hits me like a brick wall?
Dirty diaper thrown from above the bridge.
Not quite. The delicious, delicious smell of Texas Roadhouse. I almost turned around to go get myself a steak. And I don't know how they were pumping out the smell today, but I wanted it bad. Like, it smelled so good.
Texas Roadhouse, Texas toast, Raising Cane's. That's what I had for lunch today. I don't know. You said Texas Roadhouse, Texas toast.
Gee, I mean, you're not wrong. I did say those things.
Well.
Yeah.
You excited for Thanksgiving?
Hell yeah, brother.
All right.
Big fan of Thanksgiving.
For all of our BSB league members from Latvia and Australia, Thanksgiving is the
and
time.
Chicago.
And Chicago. Yeah, sorry, third world countries here.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving is the time of year that Americans have off of work to celebrate when Jesus came to earth and fought the turkey army. And obviously, we won since humans are around and turkeys are now our meals. That story is not told very often in Sunday schools, nor is it told in the educational system of America, but it is fact.
Huh. I mean, I always thought it was to celebrate the white man European genocide of the peaceful, lovely Native Americans, but...
Sheeple.
Sheeple. No, but yeah, Thanksgiving should be fun. We got the turkey bowl tomorrow morning. That should be fun. Are you excited for that?
I was going to ask if you're going to go to that. I saw you requested to join the group.
You know, Josh, for like the last 2-3 years, I've always said I was going to go and I never went. I'm going to show up this year. I'll be there tomorrow morning, 7:30.
So 4th year in a row, you've said you're going to go and won't see you?
See, I couldn't tell you what happened in the years past, except for last year. Last year, I got hung up by a woman, which was a major mistake in my life. This year, no women. I'll be there 7:30 a.m. Is it the high school field or the middle school field?
Yeah, so just go past the dirty syringes on the road and take a left.
That's the whole city of Coon Rapids. You're going to have to be a little more specific.
I guess the dirty syringes that say Coon Rapids High School.
So it's the high school field?
Yeah.
Okay.
Behind the field.
High school behind the... All right, maybe I'll just ask to meet you somewhere.
Show up early.
This is show up earlier than 7:30?
Well, yeah, because breakfast is at 7. Someone usually brings a case of Coors.
I don't drink?
No, I'll show up early.
All right.
We got to scout you.
You got to, Josh. If I am not the very last pick, I will be disappointed, and whoever takes me higher than that will be severely disappointed. I am terrible at football. I don't own cleats. I don't own football gloves. I'm just showing up for fun.
All right. Well, you'll have the jersey game going. I'm sure about that.
No, I don't want to ruin any of my jerseys. What do you mean?
You have Vikings jersey you could put on.
All right, guy. I'll be honest, I'll probably be wearing a Froggy Half sweatshirt.
Why not wear a Joe Webb jersey?
Nah, got to save that. All those precious memories, all those playoff losses.
Yeah.
The dream. Anyways, this is the least interesting part of the podcast. Thanksgiving should be fun. Josh, we're not doing football news, right? According to you?
Nope.
Cool. Yeah, I guess.
I mean, we could do a preview. We could do football news in a different fashion and talk about the Turkey Bowl a little bit more.
If you want to, go for it.
I mean, nobody from there listens to this podcast except Walters.
Hey, Walters. It's okay.
Well,
I have a segment to put in as well, but you can talk about the Turkey Bowl for a second more.
Well, I don't know if you noticed, but I was actually listed as a captain, in which I said, nah, I'm not doing this because, first off, I barely know I only know those people from the Turkey Bowl.
Yep.
And as far as athletic abilities, I have no idea. And as far as my own athletic abilities, I am slow, out of shape, not wanting to run, period. And so I'd be a very poor example of a captain. So I declined that duty despite it being assigned to me. And I just refused.
You said duty.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, I'm expecting to be 13th overall pick.
13th overall, huh?
Yep.
That would be, yeah, that'd be exciting. It'd be the top
Top
of the
10 pick.
Top of the fourth round. You say top 10 pick in the, all right. Yeah, so that should be fun. So Josh, one of our very loyal listeners, we've kind of pushed to the side the last couple weeks. One Mr. Lovely Eric Landvik has been contributing to the show a couple times, and he is not in any of our leagues, and he owes us nothing. Last week he prompted us the question. I didn't read it till the very end of the pod, which is my fault. But he asked us about the NFC North. I obviously will talk about it a little bit more here when we talk about the game results, but you just want to throw out any special thoughts for a man, Eric, about how you think the NFC North is going to finish, or specifically the Packers, because Eric is a Packers fan, I believe.
Well, as a fellow Packers fan, it's going to end in anger and disgust, I'm guessing, just based on recent weeks. But as far as the whole NFC North goes, we went from being one of the top divisions in football to what I consider now as a just complete dumpster fire, upside down world of football, because I have no idea what's going on in football right now with the NFC North. Granted, coaching issues and time management issues with the Packers led to a couple losses. You could argue that their record in the Vikings should be switched from some controversial calls there, but I'm not going to get into it a whole lot.
Good.
But yeah, so who cares? It's just a game, Garlic. Doesn't matter.
I was just trying to give one of our loyal listeners what they wanted. They asked us the question.
Yeah, well, I think you're just trying to get me heated.
I was going to say I think the Bears are going to take the North. If anyone would recall way back when, to the beginning of the season, I said the Vikings would go 9-7 and miss the playoffs. So, and I had the Packers in the playoffs in that scenario. So I think the Bears will win the North just based on trajectory. I think Matt Nagy is a good coach. Khalil Mack and that defense are unstoppable. Who takes the wild card is anyone's guess. The Vikings can bounce back. They could also continue to slide and have a horrible finish to the season. So I definitely think, I definitely hope a wild card comes out of the North, whether it's the Packers or the Vikes. No one can say for sure, though, because the South is certainly going to the Saints, and the Panthers are a pretty good team this year, so that's a wild card. The NFC West, Seattle's can always sneak into the wild card. The NFC East, that's a division. So that will be won by either the Cowboys or the Redskins. And I don't. It'd be hard to say if they have a wild card out of there. So I'm hoping one of the wild cards comes from the North. Who it is, not a clue, boss.
Word.
Thanks, Eric, for being a loyal listener. I love you, even if your last name is Landvik.
So let's get into the North then. How'd the Vikings do this past week?
The Vikings did not do good, Josh. I'm going to write down the segment time real quick just so I don't forget about it.
6:11 p.m.
We're going to say it was about 9. Go tuck yourself in. So, no, yeah, the Vikes looked pretty rough. Kirk Cousins, especially in the first half, maybe the first three quarters, looked garbage. I don't know how better to describe it than that. It just looked like the whole team was off sync. And it certainly could be that other people were making Cousins look bad. Like I mentioned to you, it could be people were coming off their routes wrong or the timing was wrong. Cousins definitely took the brunt of the blame in my mind, but it could not necessarily be all his fault. It usually isn't. It's a team sport, obviously. But he looked bad, obviously. He was feeling the pressure a lot. Khalil Mack, Akeem Hicks, and the rest of that defense were really getting in his face. So the Bears are a scary team, and that's why I think they're going to win the North. But the Vikings looked very bad, and if they have another repeat performance this Sunday night, I don't know. The season's probably done at that point. What are you looking for, boss?
Charger.
Oh, is your thing going to die? I would just burp into the mic here. That's good podcasting, right? Nice burp for the people. Don't even narrate what you're doing right now to give it any sort of interest.
Plugging my charger to my computer.
See, wasn't that so interesting?
Yeah, no, I watched most of that game. I mean, like you said, Cousins looked lost, little confused, definitely scared of that defense. Probably the best front seven they faced so far, I would say. And then, I mean, as far as there have been a few people trying to redeem him, saying, "Oh, he did fine. It was the rest of the team that struggled around him." And honestly, no, he threw touchdown passes in garbage time essentially. And if you were on the subreddit for NFL, that's exactly what the Washington Redskins fans were saying during that game cast is, well, this is garbage time Kirk for you. He'll pad his stats in this time when the defenses are laying off. But I haven't been a big fan of Kirk since, well, forever, even his time in Washington.
Really for no good reason. One of your kind of just disdains for people, unless you haven't found it on something.
No, I'd never thought he was that worthy of a quarterback, that good of a quarterback. He's slightly above the Andy Dalton line, in my opinion.
Hey, Andy Dalton's not bad. He's
Andy
pretty
Dalton's
average.
Not bad. That's the Andy Dalton line. Average.
Right.
Half
Okay.
of the league is above him. Half of the league is below him.
All right, there you go. That's fine.
Yeah.
It sounded like you were putting him in the Jameis Winston category, and I had to just slow you down for a second.
Oh God, no. Jameis Winston is
Safety. That was me, not your dog.
gross. Jameis Winston is the 34th best starting quarterback in the NFL. 35th after Chase Daniel's start this week.
Colt McCoy?
36th. And so, yeah, it was ugly. I did toot my own horn a couple times with people in that during that game because I said that Aaron Jones was going to absolutely crush Dalvin Cook this week as far as a fantasy relevance. And
Whatever vendetta you have against Dalvin Cook, I hope you're happy.
it's not against Dalvin Cook. It is against everybody who says Dalvin Cook is tiers above Aaron Jones.
Who says that?
Paul Allen.
Then say it to him and don't waste my time.
Well, you know what, Gar? Get bent.
I guess.
But overall, Packers beat them. Should have been easy for you guys.
You guys beat him by 1 in a game that I still to this day believe is fixed. But yeah, if you don't have any other thoughts about the Vikings game, we can talk.
Oh, I do have one more thing to add.
Go for it.
On my drive home from work, as we call it, there's a pick segment with Dan Barrero and Carl Gerbschmidt, who is my idol, my spirit animal.
It's true.
Who is, for those of you who don't know, which is almost all of our listeners, he is a radio personality who, in many people's opinions, is falsified to kind of embody the entire Packers fan base. So he is an extremely obnoxious and toxic individual on this broadcast.
I'm pretty sure you and him are twins.
Yep, no, exactly. And during this prediction segment, he picked the Bears to win and cover, whatever. I don't even know who's favored. And he predicted Kirk Cousins would throw 2 interceptions, one of which would be returned for a touchdown.
It's definitely possible.
I believe that's exactly what happened.
Oh, you're saying he did predict. Okay, I thought you were talking about this upcoming
week. He said that on there because I listened to it yesterday and I was like, wait a second. And so I was pretty shocked by his clairvoyance on that.
Gerby's an inside man. Have we ever seen Carl Gerbschmidt and Kirk Cousins in the same room at the same time?
We've never seen Carl Gerbschmidt and Paul Allen in the same room at the same time. You ever heard of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde?
No. You also have that backwards, don't you? I don't know.
All right. But yeah, so that's enough about games from last week. Should we move on to other notable games?
You don't want to talk about the Packers game, Josh?
They played?
I don't know if you'd call it playing.
You know how I always yell into the mic one time every week? You might want to slide my bar a little further down.
Oh my God. At least you're preparing me. That's kind of nice of you. All right, yell.
Stupid!
Yeah, I mean, you're really down right now. Do you want to go one more time or? No. Okay.
I'm not yelling again. It's only one time.
All right.
Sorry, Odin. I didn't mean to scare you. I mean, I watched it and it was disgusting, bad coaching. Another nail in the coffin for McCarthy this season, I think.
Which nail is that? Number 97 or 136?
I don't know. 4th and 2 with 4.5 minutes left in the game and no defense so far. So
You said that was a good call. I texted you about it.
it was a good call, but at the same time, should have gone for it.
You're playing both sides of this coin here, Josh. You can't have it both ways. You can't eat your cake and have it too.
I want to. Yeah, I mean, overall, it was just disappointing. Aaron Jones was a lone bright spot. Aaron Rodgers did good. He had some good pat throws in there. He had that one on 3rd and 2 that before the punt that was, he said, stuck to his finger, which, whatever. Be better.
Is that all you got?
Yep. It was so long ago. It was a week ago.
It's true. So, yep, Packers and the Vikings both lost. Pretty tragic. Our next segment is going to be locks and upsets. Josh,
Or we can talk about other notable games. I believe there's a game on Monday night.
Okay, Josh, you're the one who's trying to speed through this podcast, but we can certainly talk about the.
Well, I just want to share the fun fact that I read today.
All right, go for it.
So
Chiefs-Rams game, right, is what we're talking about?
Yep. Chiefs-Rams combined for 14 touchdowns. The Buffalo Bills have scored 13 touchdowns all season.
Dude, I believe it. I love that game. I picked the Rams to win. I won $2 from my dad on it. Boom. But yeah.
Wow. Big spender there. Did you use that $2 to buy the beef and cheese sticks in your hand right now?
No. I mean, technically, I didn't win $2 from him. I made us even because I was $2 in the hole from him. But I won the bet regardless. But yeah, it was a good time.
All right. Now we can move on.
Josh, are you sure I have your permission to move on?
Yep.
All right, so now we're going to talk locks and upsets, Josh. Want to talk about your performance last week?
No.
Is that because you, again, went
I'm trying to make
0-2?
it close. Yeah, I had Chargers beating Denver, and that didn't happen. And then I had Washington beating Houston. That didn't happen. Both were close games, though.
It's true. I had Nolans beating Philly, which did happen.
Barely.
I had Green Bay beating Seattle, trying to swoop in from Josh and steal a free point, and that also did not happen. So I take 1 point, Josh takes 0. It is now Josh 11, me 10.5. So we're almost guaranteed to not tie this year, Josh. So I guess we'll just see how these weeks turn out. This week for my lock, I was really surprised to look back at all my locks and see I had never picked New England as a lock yet this year. So I took New England over the Jets. I think that should be a lock, although New England likes to drop games to good teams like we talked about, or to bad teams like we talked about last week. And then my upset is going to be a controversial one, but that's what I like. I'm taking Colt McCoy to beat the Dallas Cowboys. When I looked at the line earlier today, it was -9 in favor of Dallas. So why take an easy line and try and get an easy upset when I could go risky for the bisky? So that's what I got, Josh. What do you got, locks and upsets?
I went with Baltimore as my lock over Oakland.
The Lamar Jackson time?
Yep. Not sure how that'll work out just because. But hey, whatever.
Raiders did win last week, Josh. That's 1 in a row.
On Daniel Carlson's left leg or right leg, whatever leg he uses.
Ladies.
And then my upset is Detroit over Chicago.
That is, you want to talk about that for a moment? What your thought process behind that?
I mean, Chicago just played a Sunday night game and they're playing tomorrow afternoon. So it's short turnaround for them. They're in Detroit, so they're traveling. And then Chicago's garbage. Detroit beat Green Bay. Green Bay beat Chicago. Transitive property. I make $1 million.
Can I have some of that $1 million, or?
No, I have to use it to buy my dog's food.
Was he eating the stairs right now?
Probably.
That sounds delicious. So, yep, those are our locks and upsets for the week, Josh. We won't spend too much time previewing Week 12, but that's what we're going to do at this point in the podcast. Our teams play each other yet again. Happened Week 2. It happens this week. Packers Vikings. Your thoughts, your excitements, your sorrows?
I don't know. I'm just hoping it's not as stressful as this last game against them. If it ends in a tie again, I'd say it's fixed this season. Obviously, Minnesota is going to be a tough place to play, but if anything, if the Bills came in here and proved that all it takes is a couple touchdowns to shut them up, or shut the fans up, I should say. Hopefully that will work this week with the Packers, but it is a divisional game, so it should be close anyways. So they're not going to get punched in the mouth like they did against the 0-42 Bills.
0-42, that is correct. Yeah, I'm also excited for the game. I think both our teams on the slide right now. Minnesota is currently favored by 4 or 4.5, so that's probably just because we're at home. But Aaron Rodgers could easily win this game. It was definitely, I kept going back and forth on my upset picks, whether I did Washington over Dallas or Green Bay over Minnesota. So I hope it's an exciting game just for my own selfish reasons. But in my mind to minds and my heart of hearts, I think Green Bay walks away with this one just because Aaron Rodgers, I think, is better than Kirk Cousins, obviously. No, I shouldn't say I know Aaron Rodgers is better than Kirk Cousins. And I think the morale of this team is on the downswing.
Got a prediction for us? Score prediction?
Oh, I'll go Packers 28, Vikings 20.
All right.
Any other games you're excited about this week, Josh?
Even though the records don't necessarily match up, I'm excited for the offensive powerhouses of New Orleans and Atlanta.
Yeah.
And by offensive powerhouses, I mean New Orleans.
Okay.
That should be a fun game. I think most of my interest comes from the just fantasy relevance because I have Tevin Coleman, Julio Jones. Have you heard of Alvin Kamara before?
Never. You've never mentioned her.
Michael Thomas, Drew Brees. I have all of those guys in leagues, so looking forward to it. How about you? Any other games you're interested in?
Yeah, I mean, I think Thanksgiving Day itself looks like a great slate. You got Chicago, Detroit at 11:30. Then you got Dallas, Washington, which might not look great, but I think Colt McCoy is going to do better.
It's a reenactment of the real Thanksgiving.
What?
The white Americans versus Indians.
It's true. Sorry, I almost died. But that game should be exciting. Like I said, I think Colt McCoy is going to do a lot better than people think. Atlanta, New Orleans, I'm pretty sure New Orleans is going to blow them out, but divisional matchups could always, swing things around. I am excited to see what Lamar Jackson can do if John Gruden can take advantage of a rookie quarterback, or if John Harbaugh will sit him down. Jim Harbaugh will shut him down.
No, it's John.
Is it John? I was getting screwed up. Cleveland, Cincinnati. I think Cleveland's on the upswing right now, so hopefully they can continue to do good things on offense.
Last week?
They were on a bye last week.
I'm just testing you.
Okay. Seattle, Carolina should be good. I think that's two NFC teams that are definitely fighting for a wild card spot. That's about it. Green Bay, Minnesota. Obviously, we talked about that at great length already, though. So that's what I got.
All right. Generalistic fantasy segment. And
I wrote down the segment time, so we're good. No, I suppose we're not going to talk about top performers. Anyone on the Chiefs or Rams did fucking amazing, I can tell you that. Jared Goff did well. Patrick Mahomes did well. Tyreek Hill. Kareem Hunt. I actually don't know. Did Kareem Hunt do good, or did he just do average?
Average. He got a touchdown, and he got enough points for Jack to beat me by 0.2 points.
I know you're salty about that. Todd Gurley, very pedestrian game.
Yeah, he was hurt.
Yeah, ankle injury, right? Something with the...
Yep.
Yeah. But he's allegedly good to go, according to McVay. So, and I think they're on a bye this week anyways.
They are.
Yeah, top performers would be anyone on those two teams, and also the Bears defense. Rams defense also did great.
Yeah.
Hey, Josh, I don't appreciate your sarcasm, okay? It hurts my feelings.
Yawning.
That was... Who yawns and says yeah at the same time? That me wasn't picked up by the mic, so...
Oh.
Nice try, guy.
Hey, buddy.
So yeah, you wanna hit the folks with our grain of salt since we didn't do top performers. I mean, I didn't do it.
Do you want to go first?
Sure. Grain of salt. So first off, we'll talk my fantasy record. My overall record on the week, like it has been for 3 weeks in a row now, I went 4-4. Surprise, surprise. My record for the season is 41-47. So I'm hoping to creep up to 500 the next 2 weeks here. Probably won't though, but we'll see. I have been eliminated in the playoffs in 2 of my leagues, like I said, or like I introed the pod with, or 3 of my leagues, excuse me. But I'd mentioned 2 at the beginning of the pod. I'm in the playoff hunt for 4 of my leagues. I'm 5-6 in 3 leagues and 6-5 in the last one. So really hoping to sneak in there just for my own personal excitement. Otherwise, fantasy will be pretty lame for me this year. And then obviously we are dominant in blood, sweat, and beers. We're 10-1. So yeah. 41-47 overall. Could be better. Could be much worse. So I'm really just hoping to sneak into the playoffs and maybe recover some of my $380 that I put into fantasy this year, not counting my transaction fees in my most expensive league.
Gross. Well, I went 4-3 this week, bringing my overall record to 49-28. For those of you who are curious how I did matching up against everybody else,
Which no one is.
Yep, I am 479 and wins, 279 losses. So pretty much exactly even to 49-28. Unlike Garlic, I am not eliminated in any of my team or my leagues yet.
All right, guy.
But I am on the cusp of being eliminated in 2 of them. And so the 2 of them that I'm almost eliminated from, I just lost last week in one, and the individual has very close in total points for. I believe I'm beating him by 4 points. So if I win, there's actually, I think, 5 teams fighting for this last playoff spot. So it could get interesting.
This is the Victoria's Secret League?
Yes.
Okay.
And then my other one, the Deflate These Balls Dynasty League, I am on the outside looking in that one. So if I win out, possibly in, but I'd have to win out in both these leagues to have a chance. And so it's still not even a guarantee. As far as my other leagues, yeah, I'm locked in unless you outscore me by 300 and some points, and I lose my last 2 and you win your next 2.
Yeah, that's why I counted myself as eliminated, even though it's not technically official, I guess. But I'm certainly not going to outscore you by 300 points in 2 weeks.
Hopefully not. But yeah, so that's my grain of salt.
You want to talk your studs and duds grain of salt?
Rather not. I got stomped again.
Again, that is not great.
Yep. So I had DJ David Johnson as my stud last week. He put up 16.4. He was projected 20.4. So lost me 4 points there. Big Ben was my dud. He put up 20.7 and he was projected 18.6. So lost me 2.1, bringing my overall total for studs and duds down to negative 21.6. I hate my life.
It's not great. I, Josh, transversely had a much better week than you did. I picked Jared Goff, which was a very softball pick, but I would assume not a lot of people start Jared Goff, at least didn't until this year. Jared Goff was projected 20.9 in full PPR. Not that matters. Why did I mention that? He's projected 20.9, and his actual performance of 35.1. Patrick Mahomes would have been a significantly better stud to pick, but Goff still outperformed by 15 points. So that is definitely, or 14 points. That is definitely stud worthy. And James Conner was projected 22 points in full PPR, and he only scored 10.9. So that's a difference of 11, and that is certainly dud worthy. I went positive. I'm now positive in both my stud and dud categories. My overall total differential for both is 22.9. So we got a nice 40-point swing in between us. If you want to talk about this week, Josh, since our grain of salt is done, or do you want me to go first?
You can go first.
Oakley dokley. So this week for a stud, I'm picking one Mr. Theo Riddick, or Riddick, if you will. Kerryon Johnson is out. The Lions will be playing from behind. LeGarrette Blount is not going to carry that team in any fashion. So I'm thinking Theo Riddick catches it out of the backfield a lot, which will rack up his PPR points. Again, these projections are in PPR, but even if not, I think he'll get plenty of receiving yards, if not a goal line touchdown. A goal line catching touchdown, that is, because Theo Riddick obviously, or LeGarrette Blount would obviously be running it in from the one. But that's what I got for a stud. And then my dud this week, Adam Thielen, projected 21.3. Thielen, I think ever since his great stretch of 8 games or whatever since the beginning of the season, I think Thielen's been getting a lot of the primary coverage. Obviously, it's not 100% of the time. They switch back between Thielen and Diggs. But Thielen has certainly dropped off, so I think that will continue here. The Packers know what a threat he is. So, I'm thinking Thielen will be pretty well covered this week.
What happens if he doesn't play?
If Thielen doesn't play?
Do you have a backup? Or are you going to take the 0 points after you chewed me out last week on that?
I can take 0, or I can come up with a backup before Sunday if you'd like.
Okay. Oh, I didn't even realize you changed that the projected for Dalvin Cook down to 0.
You like that?
No wonder I'm negative.
I mean, if I so it was 16.4. If I were to change it, it'd still be negative, just for the record.
Well, fine, cheater. It's no big deal. My stud for this week, Marlon Mack, 15.3. He's projected 15.3 after coming off the bye, going up against Miami, I believe, who's kind of a porous run defense this year. Another reason I projected him is because I'm playing against him in a league that I need to win in, and so it's a guarantee he's going to do well. My dud prediction is AP. I feel like they're going to be stacking the box, and then trying to make Colt McCoy show us what he's worth. And he's projected 13.5. We already know he can't catch, so he's going to have to get 135 yards or 70 yards and a touchdown. Dallas's defense is underrated, so I'm going to think that he's going to be a dud. So, yeah.
Careful what you say, Josh. I think you're sleeping on AD there, and I think you're going to eat your words on that one, but we will see come next Wednesday.
Is he playing against his kids?
Yikes. Is this going to be one of those things I have to go back and edit out because you're a monster? No. Okay. No. All right. So, yeah, those are our studs and duds for me and Josh. We also had 2 guest contributors this week. We did not hear this week from Mr. Eric Landvik, but he never contributes to studs and duds anyways. We have 2 loyal Eric listeners, but Eric's last week had David Johnson as a stud, which he only did 16.4 to his projected 20.4, so that's a little -4 there for him. And then he projected Joe Mixon as a dud, and he only underperformed by less than a point, so not a great week for Eric's. But Eric's is still way up there in his overall differential. He's sucking at the stud picks, but he's doing great at the dud picks. His overall differential is 21.9, which is 1 point behind me, so now I am the official authority when it comes to studs and duds. So quit listening to Eric's, the silly guy from Australia with the funny accent, and listen to Garlic again, the sultry, sexy, fluffy man that I am. We also had a contribution from I should probably talk about his studs and duds. This week he picked one Mr. Julio Jones to be a stud. I didn't put it in projection because I just entered it 10 seconds ago, but he'll pick Julio Jones. I'll let you know how that did next week. And then as his dud, he picked Dion Lewis, which I think is a pretty safe dud pick because that Tennessee backfield has been very disappointing this year for anyone who has any of those backs. Derrick Henry, you let me down. Josh, do you want to talk about your wife's studs and duds? Or
No, she's doing it to make me mad. No, she had some last week, but they're not entered in.
Did she have some last week?
I thought she did. I thought she put them in late.
I don't think she did.
Maybe not. But this week she has Adam Thielen as her stud, assuming he goes. And then the Packers. She just said Packers. She didn't say Packers defense. But
I had to assume.
No, you assumed wrong because she meant all 22 starters.
I mean, she probably meant all 53 plus the coaches plus the Lambeau Field that's not even in play this weekend. She meant every single thing associated with that team, the owners, the fake owners. But to translate, they're fake owners. But to translate that into a player, I picked the Packers D. Unless you'd rather me put in like Aaron Rodgers.
No, it's fine. You can put Packers D.
Yep.
So those are her picks. Her overall record, she's contributed a couple times. We have one listed here, and she's positive 3.3. Thanks for letting it be easy math for me. And so let's see how that pans out. I'm honestly hoping she's wrong this week on both sides.
You're not biased, are you?
Nope. Oh, I'm on AirB and I can't. Okay.
So that's going to finish our studs and duds and our advice segment. So hopefully you didn't listen to that anyways. But Josh, this week I did the A's and B's, mainly because you were working at your job. I say in air quotes, but so I got some A's and B's for you, Josh.
Okay.
Thanks for your enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Do you want... This is going to be a good one, all right? I picked some more obscure ones this week for you. Do you want
Nick Mullins?
You want Colt McCoy or Dak Prescott? I see. I'm making you think. I'm making you work.
I'm going to go with Dak.
Ooh, Dak attack. All right. Do you want CMC or Sony Michel?
CMC.
All right. Do you want Philip Lindsay or James Conner?
James Conner.
Mm-hmm. Shocking to see that. Sorry, I'm typing. You said Connor, right? Yes, you did. Do you want one Mr. Alshon Jeffrey or Mike Evans?
Evans.
Okay. Do you want T.Y. Hilton or Demaryius Thomas?
Ty.
Yep, saw that one coming. Do you want Marquise Goodwin or Chris Carson?
Chris Carson.
All right, and I realize I didn't read any of my picks, but we match up pretty much on everything except for a couple. But yeah, it doesn't really.
Which couple?
I took Sony Michel, I took Colt McCoy, and I took Philip Lindsay.
So half of them.
Correct.
Okay, perfect.
Numbers are hard, Josh.
All right.
I don't need your.
Let's get into recaps.
Yeah, buddy. We'll go ahead and start off with the Hidden Oaks Redraft League. Let me write down that segment time. We're going to say it's 35-25.
I had a bye week.
If you want to ease yourself into it, Josh, you can talk about the side bet for a second.
Yeah, so our side bet this week was 30 flirty and thriving. I don't know what the official name is. Player closest to 30 total points. Hammer.
Over or under.
Over or under. Well, it doesn't matter because Hammer had Mike Evans who put up 30.
Exactly.
So, good job, Hammer. Love you.
Yeah.
Even though I had second with 30.5.
Go ahead. What's the side bet this week?
This week it is, good question. I believe it is the QB with the longest pass.
Damn.
So yeah, we're gonna have to actually do some researching.
Any
starting QB with the longest pass. Not you can't just pick up QBs on your bench.
Okay.
Nikita.
Do you think she was gonna do that?
No, she wouldn't.
Okay. You want to make a hot prediction for who that quarterback's gonna be?
Drew Brees.
Really?
74-yard touchdown to Michael Thomas.
I'll go Jameis Winston. He sucks, but he can throw a ball.
No, we're talking to their team, not the other team.
Oh, darn it. I can't be 107 return touchdown? Damn it. I'll still stick with Jameis Winston just for fun. It doesn't matter. It's just a guess.
Okay. Yeah, so fun. Hidden Oaks Redraft recap.
Are you feeling okay, Josh?
Not really. Today's a weird day.
Okay.
I got my butt kicked by my wife, Nikita. She put up 138.4 to my 107.4. Really only had Drew Brees and Michael Thomas. That's really the only people that did well for me.
Okay. That's all you got? You don't want to talk about your wife beating you more? No domestic jokes?
Nope.
All right, cool. So Derek beats Garrett 121.4 to 107.1. Sorry, Gare Bear. You and I both took an L this week, and we're both out of the playoffs. Official-like. So, sad day for us, but yeah, it happens.
Nate stomped Brad 152.6 to Brad's 117.9. Congrats on that win, Nate. You needed it to stay in the hunt. Yeah.
Willie beats me 117.5 to 88.5. I had the lowest score at anyone this week. Team's just garbage. It has been all year. I don't know. I suck.
Well, that's what you get for taking Bell number 2 overall. Jamie beat up Jordan 118.8 to 90.4. Jordan loses yet again. I believe that's his 5th or 6th in a row.
That's his 6th loss in a row. He went 5-0 and he has since gone 0-6.
All right. So yeah, I don't want to say he's cashed in, but I think he's cashed in.
Is that cashed in or cashed out?
Cashed out, whatever.
Okay.
But he's still in the hunt. If he wins the next 2 weeks, he could potentially make the playoffs.
Technically, that is true. Last matchup of this league, Hammer beats on T 156.7 to 122.7. Kind of a interesting game. Kind of helped Hammer sneak into the last playoff spot as of now, but we'll talk about that more coming up right now.
No, not quite. Stinky Tinkies.
Oh, that is correct. Excuse me. The stinkers of the Tinkers.
There was only one that I noticed, and that was if Garrett would have played Philip Lindsay over Dalvin Cook, it would have been a positive 24.6 point swing, which would have gotten him the victory. Should we talk about next week matchups?
Do you want to talk standings and then next week's matchups and how they play?
Sure.
Josh, do you want to talk about it?
No, go ahead.
Okay. Number 1 overall in the league, we have Derek, who has won this league already twice, and it's 4-year existence. This is our 5th year. Derek's 8-3. Willie, his brother in arms, newly married, is also 8-3. Josh is 7-4, sits alone at third. T and Brad are both 6-5 for fourth and fifth. Hammer, currently the last playoff spot, I just mentioned him. He is 5-6, but he is 5-6 along with 4 other teams. So Nikita's looking for a spot, Nate's looking for a spot, Jordan's still a possibility, and Jamie. They're all 5-6, of course, differentiated by points for. So if there's any ties between those guys, you think it'll go to Hammer and Nikita. But if one of them can squeak off 2 more wins and the other ones take at least 1 loss, they're going to get that last playoff spot.
Yeah.
And then Garrett and I are both at the bottom of the league at 3-8. Not that it's important, but
And eliminated essentially.
Yep.
Matchups for this week, I take on Nate, 7-4 versus Nate's 5-6. So a win here would help Nate getting into the playoffs.
Yep. Nikita plays Garrett, so Nikita's praying for a win. Garrett doesn't really care, but he certainly could play spoiler if he wants to. Sorry, Nikita, you could lose.
Willie going up against Brad. So Brad clinging on to a playoff spot at 6-5. Could potentially, if he loses out, lose that playoff spot. So he's hoping for a win here.
That's true. We got Jamie v. me. Again, pretty meaningless game for me. And Jamie is that very bottom 5-6 team, so she would need a miracle to get in the playoffs at this point, but it's certainly possible. But we'll just see how it goes for James. Meaningless game for me, but I'll still try and beat her just because I'm a sportsman.
T versus Jordan, 6-5 versus 5-6. This is a potential opportunity for Jordan to leapfrog back into the playoffs by beating T.
And then Derek plays Hammer. So Hammer, he is currently in that last playoff spot. He has a negative record though. Derek's on the top of the league. You know, he's coasting through, but he's hoping for that number 1 seed, that first round bye. So both men have a lot to play for, I think, in this game.
Did you see my side notes, Gar?
Let's hear it, Josh.
Well, I don't know. I can't fact check this because I didn't want to. Yep, I hear it. Do you want to enlighten the audience who you shared would be the championship game matchup?
The championship game this year is going to be Bradley versus T.
Okay. Since you made that initial projection, how many games have they won combined?
Well, Josh, I could sit here and try and guess, but I believe your note says 1, so
yeah,
that's going to be 1. Final answer, Regis.
Yep.
Locking it in.
And that was when Brad beat T, so one of them had to come out victorious. Now,
they could have tied.
The listeners don't necessarily know this, but I've always called you kind of a curse for NFL fan bases and fantasy fan bases alike.
Sure.
Do you want to, by chance, apologize to T and Brad for jinxing their season?
No, because they'll still be the championship match, so.
Well, yeah, but the toilet bowl doesn't matter.
It actually does. The winner of the consolation bracket gets $20.
Oh, yeah. But there's 5 teams fighting for that last place on points for. If T or Brad lose any of their last 2 games and any of those 5 win, there's going to be a bloodbath for potentially 3 spots.
Yeah. I don't know what you said there. You meant to say bloodbath, but that came out a little different. But
well, yeah, Hidden Oaks Dynasty League. Let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on, Josh. You've had a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of spunk so far this podcast. I think we're doing great.
Yeah.
43-15. Did you just try and type something?
Yeah.
All right, try it.
Vikes are terrible.
That was clean. That was nice.
I wish you got your big yapper.
I don't know what's happened with our sound clips. They cut out these days.
Well,
I'm saying ring.
All right, J-Rock, thank you for that. Yeah, Hidden Oaks Dynasty. Jalen beats Josh. Actually, Josh, I'm going to let you take this one. Let's hear it. Jalen beats Josh 184.95 to Josh's 183.85. Josh, take it away.
It came down to that Monday night game, and I just had to open my big mouth after Greg Zerline missed that extra point.
Who's the curse now, Josh?
Me. It was a close game, and honestly, suck it, Jalen. I'm gonna kick your butt in playoffs.
Wow, you really told him, didn't you,
yeah,
Josh?
I quit.
Winds of shit are in the air.
Yeah. So I technically announced that one. If you want to take the next one here, Josh.
Kevin got his second
Safety.
victory. 121.4 over Hammer's 113.5. Hammer sets. So congrats, Kevin.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to make the playoffs.
Are you sure?
But yeah, Gar, take it away.
All right, Connor. He gets it done. He breaks that 200 point. Connor beats Derek 204 to 124.55. I'm not really sure 100% who's all on Connor's team off the top of my head. I know he's got CMC. I know he's got Zach Ertz, but I don't think he did shit this week. But yeah, Connor breaks that 200 point. Is that the second time this year for him breaking that 200 point, or is this the first? I know he's came really close a couple times.
Well, last week he came within a half point, I think. And
That's
so
true.
I think it's his first, but I'm not entirely sure.
Right. Either way, hitting that 200 point is a big deal. Obviously, it's been a huge season for fantasy, but breaking 200 points in fantasy, even with the full PPR and the extra player, it's still pretty impressive. So congrats, Mr. Prasky.
Willie beat T 171.5 to T's 123.9.
Yeah, nothing more to say there. And then I beat Nate. I was actually really disappointed to see it won. I don't want to throw this league because I think that's really unsportsmanlike. Yeah, there you go, classless. So I'm playing my starters. I'm playing good starters, or good for my team at least. But I beat Nate 110.85 to 108.35. So yeah, it's looking like I'm going to draft third or fourth overall as it currently stands. You want to talk some stinky tinkies, Josh?
Yeah, if I would have played Johnson over Johnson, I would have scored 1.3 more points.
Do you care to be more specific about the Johnsons you're referring to?
It's Kerryon Johnson over David Johnson. I would have gotten 1.3 more points, and that would have been just enough to squeak out the win.
Squeak it. If Hammer would have played, is that DJ Moore?
Yep.
If Hammer would have played, or Jesse, I should say, if Jesse would have played DJ Moore over Tyler Lockett, he would have got 16.5 more points and would have beat Kevin. Would have put Kevin where he belongs at the bottom, even though he's still there. And yeah, I might be able to move up one more draft spot. Thanks a lot, Dick.
Nate would have played Josh Adams over Deion Lewis. He would have improved his score by 12, gotten him the win.
Yeah, Nate, why don't you do that, you jerk?
Going into our standings, Jalen alone at 8-3 on the top of the leaderboard. He's sitting in that first place spot. Connor, Derek, Willie, and Nate are all 7-4.
That's sickening. 4 people are 7-4.
Yep. I am in that last playoff spot at 6-5, and then we've got T and Gars at 4-7. Looking out. They're not technically eliminated, as we've discussed. I don't know how many points T has, but I think he still needs 200 and some more.
We're eliminated.
Hammer set, Jesse is 3-8, and Kevin is 2-9. So right now we pretty much have the playoff bracket set, just seeding opportunities now. So, just finding out who's going to lose to me in the first round, and then the second round, and then the championship.
Think you're funny, don't you, guy?
Kinda.
Yeah.
Next week, matchups.
Josh plays Jesse/Hammer. Josh, you're 6-5, so you're looking at least tie your fellow playoff teams there. So yeah, I mean, meaning this game for Jesse and Hammer, but they certainly could play spoiler, not to Josh's playoff hopes, but to any hope of moving up to a higher seed.
Kevin loses to Connor this week. That should be an interesting matchup.
Yeah, Connor wants to maybe move up to that one spot. Willie plays Jalen. Again, huge seeding applications. Currently, Jalen's on the top of the league and Willie's at 4. But since everyone's real close on records, it could certainly swing here before the end.
The Gars playing Derek, so 4-7 for 7-4.
Yeah, and then Nate plays T. Yeah, I don't know. There's not a whole lot to say about that.
Nope. All right, moving on.
Are you sure?
I don't know. Did I forget something?
No, you didn't forget anything. I just wanna look at your pretty face. Yeah.
All right. The Blood, Sweat, and Beers Dynasty. Garlic, I think it's time for a little bit of this.
I feel good.
Hell yeah, brother. Hold on. I got another one for us.
Yes! 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 I am killing it in my fantasy.
Yeah.
Yes. So Hidden Oaks, that's us. We beat Dalton Abbey.
Dalton Abbey.
Sorry,
Yeah, there you
the letters I used didn't make sense. We beat them 135.3 to 113.5. Thank you, Patty Mahomes, Michael Thomas, and the other players that played.
We did it! We did it! Yes!
Yeah. So yeah, just another victory. I don't know. Do you remember how to lose in this league?
No, Josh, I believe last time we lost was like week 4, week 5, so it's been quite a long time. As a perennial loser, I try and leave that in the rear view as soon as I can. So
All right.
I guarantee we lose. We'll have a bye round 1. I guarantee we lose it.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. After we talk all this trash,
Yeah.
and when we get into the standings, we're gonna cover it a little bit more, but we'll get into that. Do you want to take the next matchup?
Yeah. I should probably get to the right page.
Oh my god.
Okay, you've been is that Check My Balls, our lovely commish, lovely listener, Mr. Eric's Kesteris.
Equestrian.
He beats Emotional Bears fan 94.3 to 92.4. So close matchup there, less than a 2-point swing. Yeah, real close one.
TD My Pants beats Jono's Burton's 120 to 105.6.
TD My Pants only scored 120. What a
Right.
loser.
But yeah, so that's another victory for him. Mr. Cake Eater over there. That's disgusting. Alex Smith first round beat Cocknock 137.5 to 108.7.
Fluttery Buckery beats Erect Dicker 109 to 105.5. So another close matchup.
And then Zero Girlies, Zero Cup gets that ever elusive first victory. It only took 11 weeks. And he beats Victorious Secret. So I'm not listening to any of your secrets. 78.6 to 74.4.
That was the most meaningless matchup of the week, and it ended 78 to 74.
Well,
Snooze fest, dude. There's going to be a lot of turnover in those. This is a Dynasty league. We're going to see like 3 or 4 more owners before the end of next season.
Oh, yeah.
Guaranteed.
So Stinky Tinkies, you want to take that first one?
Yeah. If Emotional Bears fan would have played Peyton Barber over Michael Thomas.
Demarius Thomas. We had Michael Thomas, dum-dum.
I don't pay attention to stuff. If one Mr. Emotional Bears fan would have played Peyton Barber over Demarius Thomas, that would have been an 18-point swing, and you would have easily blown out, or at least significantly wounded, our loyal commish. But alas, you didn't. So that's a stinky tinky, and you suck.
Yeah, but who could have seen Peyton Barber scoring 18 points? Because Demarius Thomas got him 0. The next stinky tinky, we have Jono's Burton's. If you would have played Eli Manning over Carson Wentz, you'd have had a 23-point swing. For those of you who aren't paying attention, Eli only scored 21. So that means Wentz got negative.
Yikes. Yeah, Wentz did not have a great week. Mr. Erect Decors, if you would have played one Mr. Michael Davis over one Mr.
Jaquiz Rogers.
One Mr. Jaquiz Rogers, you would have tied. So technically not a stinker tinker. I don't know how the tiebreakers are set up in this league. Sometimes they allow ties. Sometimes it goes to bench points or a bunch of stupid other stats I can't think of, or stipulations I can't think of off the top of my head. But if you would have played Mike Davis, you at least would have tied and then potentially got into a tiebreaker, or potentially just had a not loss.
I'm saying right.
And then the last one, Curtis Samuel over
Who was this
Corey
for?
Davis, would have gotten Victorious Secret the victory.
Yeah, Zero Girly Zero Cup should have 0 wins in this league, and the fact that you lost to him, I mean, I know he's the newest owner in the league, and we should probably kick him out. What do you think, Josh?
Bye!
Sorry, Victoria's Secret, or what's his name? Engor?
Eeyore?
It's Eeyore? What is he at? Donkey from Winnie the Pooh?
Eeyore is not a donkey. He's an Eeyore.
He's a donkey. Just saying. Are you currently looking at the standings so you can correct the note? Should I just vamp here? All right, Josh, we're going to vamp for the folks. I've been waiting to pull this out. Well, first, hold on. A word from our sponsors.
Hey, I'm Ricky Bobby.
I'm Cal Naughton Jr.
We just want to take a moment to talk to you about snow blindness in cats. It's affecting more and more cats every year. It scares the living shit out of us. Work on your mysterious lady part stuff. You have the right tools too. That's why you should use Baypax, the official tampon of NASCAR.
Yeah. How we doing, Josh? Need some
We're
more
good.
vamp I can do. Oh, you did it. Good job, buddy.
Yeah, so standings in BSB, all is right in the world as Hidden Oaks takes over the number 1 spot. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo!
Yeah, baby.
By a whopping 2 fantasy points.
Get fucked.
TD My Pants is also 10-1.
But not in first place.
Now, see that? That's the kind of winning attitude that's going to take this enterprise straight to the top.
Boom. Soundboard. We used no soundboard the first 40 minutes of the show. We're finished.
I just check this out.
Yeah, some of these sound clips have really shit out on us, Josh. I don't even know what you tried. It's still going. Oh, it's Chris Farley. I passed.
I'm gonna graduate.
I wish we'd known each other. This is a little awkward.
All right.
That
Who
sound
cares
clip
about the
is
rest
so
of the
long.
standings? No,
I mean, we should at least shout out our loyal commissioner and listener.
Check My Balls is 8-3. First place Bears fan is 4th place in fantasy, 7-4.
First place Bears fan. I like that one.
Dalton Abbey 7-4. Alex Smith's first round 6-5. Futbuckers, Jonos Burton's 5-6.
They're both hoping for playoff.
Yeah, they're both
spots.
searching. Cocknock Erect Dick 3-8, and then Victoria's Secret and Zero Girly Zero Cups at 1-10.
What's it with the cock/dick jokes that just make your team garbage? Both 3-8 right there.
Ish.
Yeah. You don't have Yahoo pulled up, do you, by chance? Don't talk about next week's matchups. I don't suppose you have it available. I can pull it up real quick. You want to vamp for the folks, Josh, or?
Well, I say no to drugs, so no vamping for me. All those vamp
Here.
pens.
All right, I'll vamp for the
So
fucking.
we've got
really wanna
Alex
know what love
Smith.
Yes, tell us. More than anything in the world, Ron.
Well, really quite simple. Kind of like. Gonna find my baby, gonna hold her tight, gonna grab some afternoon delight. Motto's always been when it's right, why wait until the middle of a cold dark night? When everything's a little clearer in the light of day. And we know the night is always gonna be here anyway. Thinking of you's working up my appetite, looking forward to.
Can we stop this?
Afternoon
Do you want to stop?
Yeah,
That's
I'm
amazing. Okay.
All right. So Hidden Oaks has Alex Smith's first round.
So some seeding implications there. We could knock out Alex Smith first round and bring in Jonos or Futbuckers, depending on how things shake out.
Yeah. Check My Balls is going up against Erect Dicker. So not necessarily important, but Check My Balls is seeding implications again. Just one game ahead of Bears fan and Dalton Abbey. And who knows if he wins the next 2 games and we lose the next 2, or TD My Pants loses the next 2, he could take over a bye.
Josh, we do not lose. I'm going to talk as much trash as possible. So when we lose, it's going to be a glorious dumpster fire. All right.
Oh yeah, that's when
we
a podcast
don't lose.
ends and we delete Slack.
Right. We delete Slack. We delete the Hidden Oaks Overdose everywhere. We'll pretend it, or we'll
Never
make
happened.
exactly.
We've got Jonos Burton's taking on a Cocknock. And so Jonos hoping to win, kind of sneaking in that 6th spot.
Yeah. Dalton Abbey playing
Oh,
him. Josh, do you not remember when I was vamping? I was playing Afternoon Delight, so I could get it pulled up. Dalton Abbey plays Emotional Bears Fan. We got the 4th and 5th seed playing here. They're both 7-4. Currently, Bears Fan has that points edge, but obviously, whoever wins this game is going to take that higher spot. So a lot on the line for those teams if they care about seeding at all.
TD My Pants sits his entire team and still manages to beat Zero Girlies, Zero Cups.
Yeah, and that's an easy win. So, Josh, we have to be on our A game this week because TD My Pants is not going to lose to Zero Girlies, Zero Cup. Safety. One more matchup.
Yeah, you only want to do one of them?
All right, Josh. Futbuckers plays Victoria's Secret. So Futtbuckers is actually going to get a free win here as well. So who is in the 6th spot currently? Where are you at? That is Alex Smith first round. So Alex Smith first round, your only hope of keeping that playoff spot lies in our hands. Okay, I could scroll down 2 inches and see the points for. Alex Smith first round does have the edge on points for, so even if you lose, there's a chance you can keep that playoff spot depending on how things shake out for you this week. There's about a 60-point difference between you two, but Fuckbuckers is basically playing a bye this week. He's going to get a free win, so Alex Smith first round, make sure you're getting all those points for you can, because Futtbuckers is coming for your spot.
He's coming to buck your foot.
Whoa. Can you say that on the fake radio, Josh?
I don't know.
On the radio station HOOD, not quite as cool as the KFAN or the KQQL, but the HOOD.
Yeah. I can kind of say what I want.
Can you?
This is America.
Hell yeah, brother. This is America.
All right. Goodbye.
There's a bunch of losers in Minnesota.
Yeah. So thanks everybody for listening. Josh has walked away, but
I'm just stretching.
You're just stretching my patootie. You're gonna stretch my patootie after the pod. So yeah, thanks everyone for listening. Special shout out to our lovely listener Nikita Mitchell. I almost always say Nikita Munker.
Love you, Nikita.
Yeah, what a pander. What a cheap what the fuck's it called? Cheap pop. There we go. Wrestling. Thank you to one Mr. Eric's Kesterisk. Thank you to one Mr. Eric's Landvik. Thank you to... Does anyone else listen? Oh, Ryan Walters. Oh my God, Ryan Walters. I almost forgot. I was in his basement this time last week, and I almost forgot our lovely man Ryan Walters listened. So thank you to you for whatever reason, you guys put up with us every week and you listen, and we appreciate it. Josh, meatspin.com has always been my homepage. What do you mean? Why is there a penis on my... All right, so we just hit an hour. Thanks, everybody, for listening. We love you. And, yeah, next week we'll be talking even more playoffs, and maybe we'll have a little more enthusiasm for the first 40 minutes of the show. Jesus. Yeah. Oh, I can't do the talk while the music's playing because Josh is gone. I guess I gotta talk to myself. Yeah, I don't know. To anyone who listens to this pod, it definitely felt like Josh and I were a little off for the first half of the show. I don't know if we were both tired or if it's just, we're dreading the turkey bowl tomorrow morning, but we certainly felt a little off. So anyone who listens through the Easter egg here, not the Easter egg, but the supplemental pod while I talk through music that is actually nice music I shouldn't talk through, but Josh and I felt a little off at the beginning, or at least in my opinion, so you can let me know in Slack or on Facebook or through text message if you felt the same way, because the energy was off in my mind, so we'll see what other people think. Yeah, thanks for listening. Fantasy playoffs are right around the corner. Good luck to anyone who participates. I'm hoping to sneak in myself, so good vibes all around. Still playing? Yeah, it's technically still playing. And it's done, and I'm going to press stop recording in 3, 2,